Good morning, and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. If you're watching this, maybe you got interested in my title, maybe you watched my previous video where I talk about how I wanted to rant about uncollected rewards in this next event month and how they're not being updated, because I'm kind of split decision. I see both sides of that coin, and I think both are incredibly relevant. So let me say that I just want to show I did get 100% completion on chapter 1. I did this only using one team revive, and I did get my just base completion of chapter 2, and the reason I haven't bothered doing any more than that is just because I wanted to use my energy on other things, like the Halls of Fortune a little bit. I wanted to start making progress on Act 3 so I can get that free 4-star, and I just decided that I didn't think these were worth it for me, and I definitely don't think I can take Nameless Thanos down, so I didn't think chapter 3 was worth it at all. So now I'm going to move on. Let me make the stance. Let me preface it. I just released a video with a spreadsheet comparing the updated rewards for beginner through master difficulty for event quest completion. Notably, there was no change to the uncollected event rewards. And the reason for this, I think, is very complicated. I think that there's a lot more going on than just uncollected rewards being hard to balance. I think from a developer perspective and from a player perspective, we have to think, well, what's going on in the month of June? So we have Alliance Quest rewards being updated. We have Alliance War changing, right? We're getting a whole new battlefield. We have the update to the beginner through master difficulty rewards. Like, we might see a lot of people who are like, oh, I only do uncollected, start saying, oh, I'm going to clear master too, or oh, I'm going to clear heroic too, because those rewards are juicier, right? And we see the introduction of Act 6 Chapter 2. So this game is about to accelerate fast, and we don't know how much, and Kabam probably doesn't know how much, because the truth is, you can't know how quickly your players are going to accelerate until you see them do it. All you can do is make your changes and then wait and see what the numbers will look like. And so from Kabam's perspective, they're stuck in this situation where a lot of players are saying buff the uncollected rewards, buff it, buff it, buff it, it's too hard, or it's not, it's harder than the rewards are worth, yada yada. And there's an argument to be made there, and I'm not in a position where I can really attest to the difficulty of uncollected. As one, I haven't full completed it because I thought it was too hard, mostly because my roster's not developed to the point where I'm a good enough player to do so, but also I should have, what did I do? I should not have brought Ronan to this Corvus Glaive fight. Sorry. Awesome. Just making sure I was going to kill him. But also, uncollected, like, the rewards are actually pretty solid as is. Let me state that, like, if I was able to clear it, I would do it because the rewards are worth it. And I wanted to show that I did get that full completion on Act 1, just because I wanted to show that, yes, there are noted paths, because I see one of the comments being like, previously it was only one path of nodes and then the rest were unnoted, and now it's one path with no nodes and the rest are noted. I think the rest should be noted. I think that for the rewards you're getting, there should be nodes. It should be difficult, because if it's too easy, it's not fun. And this game should be about having fun, and you can make the argument, well, it can be fun and have good rewards, but I think the rewards are good. And at least for the chapter 1 that I did, I thought the rewards were good. And to be honest, I actually wouldn't have had any problem full completing chapter 2. But when I got my uncollected title, there were only like 3.5 days left on the event. And I didn't really want to burn energy refills trying to complete chapter 2. So if I had like 6 days, I probably would have been able to do it with just free energy, just by getting some practice in and clearing the easier routes first. But the reason I didn't go for like just a completion run of chapter 3 was because I knew for a fact that I'm not going to be good enough to take down uncollected master Nameless Thanos. I didn't even want to try. I do have to say, in general, as far as events go, I think that Nameless Thanos was too punishing for the quantity of rewards they're giving, just because, like, you have to be a god tier level player in order to do that without potions and revives. But let me say, there are people who did it without potions and revives. So with that being said, you know, if you're a veteran player who's been playing this game for 3 or 4 years and you can't clear that without using potions or revives, when you have, you know, let's say you spend the first 2 days doing, you know, chapters 1 through 4, you have like 26 to 28 days, depending on how long it takes you to do those, to just hammer away at that Nameless Thanos. So let me tell you, like, I don't know, man. Get good. Maybe an unpopular opinion, and you don't even have to get good, to be honest. Like, grind the arena. That's what I did. I cleared Nameless Thanos on Master difficulty. I was so proud of myself, but I didn't do it for free. I did it for like 400 units. And I get that Nameless Thanos on Uncollected is way harder and would probably cost way more units, but I don't know. You can get 1,000 units in the arena in just a week. You know, that's 10 team revives. If you can't do Nameless Thanos on Uncollected with 10 team revives, you know, restart the fight and do it again. You get 6 tries per 6 hours. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, yes, it was hard. Yes, the rewards need to be a little bit better, but that's just for me at my amateur level status. Unpopular opinion. I don't know. At the same time, I'm not trying to be too strict. Like, I'm not hard set on that opinion because I didn't even try. Like, I've seen the videos. I did it on Master difficulty and was like, wow, that was really hard. But it's tough for me to put my 2 cents in fully there and like stick and have a passionate opinion until I'm doing it. So hopefully this month I can do that Uncollected boss fight and have a better opinion and have more of a valid input. Because right now I feel like I'm really not justified in having any kind of strong input there. But as far as the Uncollected rewards, when you're from a developer's perspective, the reason I think Uncollected rewards need to be updated. I think it's been too long since they've updated it. I think that you're updating beginner through master Kabam, that Uncollected needs to be, you know, naturally updated as well. I think that if there was a month to do it, this is not the month. So when Kabam says we're not doing it right now, I agree. I think that Act 6 Chapter 2 is coming out, Alliance Quest Rewards Update, Alliance War New Battle Map, as well as the rest of the rewards updates that's happening, and the objectives you got. Like, the objectives, those were relevant. That's an acceleration of the game. And from a developer's perspective, there's a lot for them to be juggling right now, in addition to just overall game balance. Because you might look at it and you might say, Uncollected's too hard. It's too hard for the amount of rewards I'm receiving. And let's say, how do I phrase this? If you're sitting on a roster of 5 stars, like you already have the perfect team and there's nothing you can do to make your team better, your roster better, masteries, like your masteries are capped out, and you're at the point where you're like, yeah, I've got 5 stars, max rank, max level, and Uncollected's too hard. I'm going to say, at that point, I can definitively say, get good. But most likely, if it's too hard for the amount of rewards you're getting, it's because your roster's not complete and your 5 stars aren't ranked up all the way, which of course they aren't. Like, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time commitment, it takes a very long time to rank those up, and even then, you know, by the time you have 1 ranked or 2 ranked, like, you definitely don't have 5 ranked, and if you do have them ranked up, you're probably using them in Alliance War or Alliance Quest to get better rewards, so it's not like you can use them in the questing every day. So, but that being said, I would make the argument that then you need to be full completing Heroic and Master and work your way up. This game is a compounding interest game of start with a small roster, start pulling up. I still grab every 3-star featured, 4-star basic, and 4-star featured. I know that I'm in a position in the intermediate bracket that I can, but the reason I do that is because when I get that 3-star featured, I know in my head that that is a small block on my pyramid that I am building. And the thing about Kabam is, like, I mean, it's been, I don't know how long it was between the Act 6.1 and the Act 6.2 edition, but I know it wasn't 1 month. I know it wasn't 2 months because I've been playing that long. And so at Act 6.2, I bet someone has full completed it within 2 weeks. I'm going to say someone has gotten 100% exploration of Act 6.2 in 2 weeks. That's my prediction. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I definitely think it's going to be quicker than the duration of time between chapter adds. So with that being said, you got to think there's only a finite amount of new content that Kabam can put in the game. And if they power creep the game, which for the record, adding rewards to Uncollected difficulty would be power creeping the game. Players would have more access to higher rewards over time. And that will accelerate them towards endgame faster. They'll have bigger rosters, more to react, and that will eventually kill the game. What makes this game good is a good balance of new players and veteran players so that they can justify having their old content be played while simultaneously having having players at endgame to entertain with new content. So It's tough. And if you're at endgame and you haven't full completed Labyrinth of Legends, you haven't full completed Act 5, you haven't done a full run of Act 6.1, those are things you should be working on, you know? I don't think that's unreasonable. I think Alliance Quest, Alliance War, I think those are more important updates than the Uncollected rewards. Because at the end of the day, while I do think the Alliance Uncollected rewards need to be updated, I just don't think they're bad, right? And I think no one would say, oh, Uncollected rewards are bad. I think the general argument is they're not good enough. And the thing about not good enough is it's still acknowledgeable. So I feel like I'm looping here, but that's my shtick. Maybe I have more arguments, but honestly, I'm probably just too tired and not realizing that I'm being cyclic. But if you're like, man, Uncollected rewards really need to be improved, and I'm a veteran player, and these are my reasons why I disagree with you, feel free to let me know. Try to keep it civil, because I will completely ignore anyone who is not civil. That's just my stance. I don't want to get into a flame war, but I would love to be educated. But again, I need you to be civil. I need you to not be patronizing, because I won't respond to either of those. But if you are constructive and you have an argument for where your standpoint is and why you think it, I'd love to hear it, because I'm new to the game. So if you have information I don't, I would love it. I'm not claiming to know anything. I just think from the developer's perspective, they have a lot of justified reasons for not updating the Uncollected rewards. And I think from the developer perspective, the benefit for waiting, not even doing the token reward change, right? The benefit for waiting for them is game balance. And the most important thing about any game is game balance. Yeah, that's my standpoints there. Maybe it's controversial. Maybe you disagree. I'm definitely talking in circles. So I will talk to you later.